Every time Harry approaches a painful truth, the world freezes entirely. And terrifying creatures relentlessly chase him. Between each exploration segment, the game takes us to a psychiatrist's office, where the player undergoes therapy sessions with Dr. Kaufman. These sessions include personal questions, psychological tests, and activities that influence the appearance of characters, the story's development, and ultimately, the game's ending. The most shocking twist happens at the end. The ending changes depending on how the player has responded in therapy sessions and the choices made throughout the story. Instead of allowing the player to fight enemies, the game forces Harry to run and hide. During nightmare sequences, the only goal is to escape from the Rorschach's pale, terrifying humanoid creatures by running, climbing obstacles, and hiding in lockers or under furniture. Unlike other Silent Hill games, where exploration is more structured, Shattered Memories offers multiple paths to solve certain puzzles and progress through the story. Eerie has a cell phone that serves as a map, camera, notebook, and a tool to receive voice messages and ghostly calls. This device enhances the immersion in the story. The game constantly analyzes the player's behavior, from responses in therapy to small details, such as which locations they explore first or how long they observe certain objects. This affects the appearance of characters, the story, and even the design of the enemies. Depending on the player's choices, the characters change their appearance. For example, Dahlia can be an attractive young woman, a middle-aged woman, or a neglected and depressed woman. The game uses dynamic lighting and shadow effects, which enhance the immersion and realism compared to other titles of the time. Depending on the responses in therapy sessions, enemies can become more aggressive, have sexual characteristics, appear more childlike, or even have fractured ice features. Although Shattered Memories lacks traditional monsters from the series, in an antique store, you can find a small pyramid head figure. There is a phone number in the game that, if dialed, plays a message from Heather Mason, the protagonist of Silent Hill 3. Unlike the original Silent Hill, in this version, Dahlia is not a cult fanatic but a distorted representation of Cheryl's mother. Not only do dialogues and endings change, but also small events and how characters react, depending on the player's profile. Shattered Memories takes psychological horror to a new level by making the player part of the story's analysis. While Silent Hill 2 is introspective and Silent Hill 3 is a direct sequel to the first game, Shattered Memories focuses on the father-daughter relationship and grief. Its story, gameplay based on psychological profiling, and unique atmosphere make it one of the most memorable experiences in the franchise.